Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time I'm returning to my favourite genre, survival crafting with Deadcraft, a zombie survival game developed by Marvelous Inc. and published by XSEED Games, who are responsible for the Corpse Party series, a highly successful anime horror series that I haven't yet tried. My first impressions of Deadcraft was not a positive one, with graphics that look more at home in last generation consoles and some pretty ordinary voice acting. I was also concerned that in attempting to implement survival, action RPG and isometric combat all in the same game might be too ambitious in scope. However, the developer does a serviceable job of creating a post-apocalyptic, zombie-infested world to explore, taking inspiration from several post-apocalyptic classics like Borderlands and Mad Max. You'll scavenge resources, mine ore, farm food, and craft supplies. You'll make weapons and traps to fend off hostile bandits and hungry zombies. Finally, the game implements a morality system that will determine whether you will become a hero that will save the remnants of humanity, or a ruthless warlord that will rule over the ashes of a dead world. Deadcraft takes place in a post-apocalyptic future, where the Earth has been devastated by a meteor storm. The meteors contained a deadly virus that transformed most of humanity into zombies called Zivs. Facing extinction, the last remaining humans have built settlements to shelter from the hordes. However, old rivalries resulted in conflicts between the settlements, with warlords and bandits reigning supreme. The game begins with the player controlling Reid, a human Ziv hybrid who is captured by the warlord Nebron, who is also a hybrid. Reid manages to escape and begins planning his revenge, searching for allies and learning to use his Ziv abilities. The game revolves around finding supplies by hunting, scavenging, mining and eliminating Zivs. You'll then return to your base where you'll use these materials to construct buildings, allowing you to craft tools, weapons and medicine, as well as setting up a farm to grow food and collect water. The crafting system is made more interesting when you get access to recipes allowing you to use Ziv parts. You can water your crops with blood to create mutated vegetables with powerful effects. You can enhance your weapons by crafting Ziv body parts with scrap metal to make living weapons. However, my favourite part of the game is growing your own army by combining the corpses of your foes with Ziv blood and body parts, planting them in your farm to make your very own zombies. You can even unlock different variants including gun-wielding zombie turrets, sword-wielding warriors and kamikaze zombies. The other half of the game is exploring the world and completing quests for the inhabitants of the slums, a survivor colony under attack from the Bronze forces. Reid needs their help to enter the Bronze fortress, so he'll have to complete a variety of quests to earn their trust. These range from simple tasks on the colony job board, like collecting food and supplies, keeping colonists safe from Zivs, and building defences. You can also speak with members of the colony and complete quests which will increase their trust for you and in some cases provide benefits like discounts at traders. Completing enough quests will weaken the Bronze forces, allowing you to attack his generals or infiltrate further into the fortress. Combat in Deadcraft takes inspiration from action RPGs like Diablo, with Reid having access to a variety of zombie abilities like summoning your own zombie allies, using his zombie arm to crush your foes, or attacking directly with melee weapons and makeshift guns. The controls are responsive and you can rotate the camera easily. Furthermore, I like that the combat system gives you a variety of approaches and encourages you to experiment with different types of summoned Zivs. You'll often face off against hordes of enemies with powerful weapons, so you'll need to maintain a stockpile of medicine to heal yourself, food to restore your energy, and mutated food to fuel your zombie abilities. This means you'll need to periodically return to base to tend to your farm, restock on food, water and medicine, and get some sleep. Deadcraft does implement some clever ideas, such as an inventive crafting system with trees for regular and zombie crafting components, as well as a summoning system with a wide range of minion types. However, there were areas of the game I did find frustrating. Firstly, the game makes use of standard survival meters for food, water and stamina. I understand that Reid is a zombie, but he has to consume enough food to sustain a small country every few minutes. The stamina bar is far worse. It depletes so fast that I found myself having to sleep constantly. Every action consumes stamina, and when the bar depletes you'll be dead in minutes. This is made worse by a screen blurring effect when you're hungry and thirsty, making it extremely hard to navigate back to safety. Next is the stack sizes. Most items have a stack size of 10 and your inventory size is very limited. This means the problem with food and water is made even worse when you have to fill half your inventory to avoid starvation. The next problem is the camera. While I appreciate you can rotate it, the map overlay doesn't rotate as well. This means you'll often get disoriented when rotating the camera using a map. Finally, there's the graphics. Now I play a lot of indie games, so visual quality is a secondary concern. But the game graphic quality was disappointing, especially when you note that this is an Unreal Engine game. On the positive side, a lot of these issues are purely balance problems that can be fixed easily, I believe, by the developer. So do I recommend Deadcraft? The game has an ambitious scope, which was a risky approach. Thankfully, the developers were largely successful in combining survival and RPG mechanics, throwing in some clever ideas like crafting items from zombie parts. But this wide scope means that some areas such as base building are very basic with only a few buildings to construct. The game has some balance issues, which can make it a frustrating experience at least in the early campaign. However, I found that Deadcraft really comes into its own in the later game, when you start to take advantage of the game's huge skill tree and can unlock some of the more powerful abilities and Ziv summons. So I encourage you to stick it out. The game is available for $40 Australian on the PlayStation Store, which I think is a little expensive for an indie title, so I recommend getting this on sale if you're a fan of zombie survival games like myself. You can do worse. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, as it really helps the channel. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope you'll join me next time when we look at another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.